Welcome to the first lecture on PGP. Hello everyone. Myself Madhav Majwalia, an assistant professor of Department of IT at Charotar University of Science and Technology. PGP is simply known as Pretty Good Privacy. Philip R. Zimmermann is the creator of Pretty Good Privacy, an email encryption software package, originally designed as a human rights tool. PGP was published for free on the internet in 1991. This made Zimmerman the target of a 3-year criminal investigation because the government held that US export restrictions for cryptographic software were violated when PGP spread worldwide. PGP became the most widely used email encryption software in the world after the government dropped its case in early 1996. Zimmerman founded PGP Incorporated. That company was acquired by Network Associates Incorporated in 1997. In 2002, PGP was acquired from Network Associates Incorporated by a new company called PGP Corporation, where Zimmerman served as a special advisor and consultant until it's acquired by Symantec in 2010. PGP uses a combination of public key and private key encryption to provide security services for email messages and data files. PGP provides four services related to the format of messages and data files: digital signature, confidentiality, compression, and REDX 64 conversion. PGP provides authentication via digital signature service. Digital signature service involves the use of a hash code or message digest algorithm like SHA-512 and a public key encryption algorithm RSA. PGP provides confidentiality by encrypting messages to be transmitted or data files to be stored locally using private key encryption algorithm like IDR. PGP compresses the message after applying the signature but before encryption using the zip algorithm. We will not focus more on data compression. PGP uses REDX 64 for data conversion. Little bit we can explain like when PGP is used, usually part of the block to be transmitted is encrypted. If only the signature service is used, then the message digest is encrypted with the sender's private key. If the confidentiality service is used, the message plus signature are encrypted with a one-time private key. Thus, part of or all of the resulting block consists of a stream of arbitrary 8-bit bytes. However, many email systems only permit the use of blocks consisting of ASCII text. To accommodate this restriction, PGP provides the service of converting the raw 8-bit binary stream to a stream of printable ASCII character called ASCII armor. The scheme used for this purpose is REDX 64 conversion. The first phase of PGP is generating digital signature. The digital signature service involves the use of a hash code or message digest algorithm and a public key encryption algorithm. The sequence is like this: the sender creates a message, or we can say email. The sending PGP generates a hash code of the message using hashing algorithm like SHA-512. The sending PGP encrypts the hash code using the sender's private key using RSA algorithm. The encrypted hash code is prepended to the message. The receiving PGP decrypts the hash code using the sender's public key using RSA algorithm. The receiving PGP generates a new hash code for the received message and compares it to the decrypted hash code. If the two match, the message is accepted as authenticate. Signatures normally are found attached to the message or file that they sign. This is not always the case. A detached signature may be stored and transmitted separately from the message it signs. This is useful in several contexts. Detached signature can be used when more than one party must sign a document, such as a legal contract. Each person's signature is independent and therefore is applied only to the document. Otherwise, Signatures would have to be nested, the second signer signing both the document and the first signature, and so on. Second phase of PGP is compression. It is done after applying the signature and before doing encryption using zip algorithm. Data compression saves transmission time, disk space, and reinforces cryptographic security. Most cryptanalysis methods exploit patterns that are found in the plain text. The third phase of PGP is confidentiality. PGP provides confidentiality by encrypting messages to be transmitted or data files to be stored locally using private key encryption. In PGP, each one-time private key is used only once. That is, a new key is generated as a random 128-bit number for each message. Since it is to be used only once, the session key is bound to the message and transmitted with it. To protect the key, it is encrypted with the receiver's public key. The sequence is like this. The sender creates a message. The sending PGP generates a random number using ID algorithm to be used as a session key for this message only. The sending PGP encrypts the message using session key. The session key is encrypted using the recipient's public key using RS algorithm and prepended to the encrypted message. The receiving PGP decrypts the session key using the recipient's private key using RSA algorithm. The receiving PGP decrypts the message using the session key. Both digital signature and confidentiality services may be applied to the same message. First, a signature is generated for the message and prepended to the message. Then the message plus signature is encrypted using a conventional or symmetric or we can say private session key. Finally, the session key is encrypted using public key encryption and prepended to the encrypted block. For further study, you can follow Why I Wrote PGP by Philip Zimmermann in 1991 at given link. You can find IETF draft of PGP at given link. You can also refer books on PGP by Philip Zimmermann. This is the end of first lecture.